Hey, what's up? Today's video we are going over the top 5 worst skill champions in the game. As always, these will only be 7-star list because the 6 stars will just fill up the list with champions that have not got buffs ever. Also, one more thing I want to talk about is the challenge that I've got going on. My last video, I will have it down in the comments somewhere or in the description. It is called my newest R5. Please go check that out. It is basically a challenge to hit 500 subs within the next month before the final Coliseum boss drops. If we can hit 500 subs before I can do my next R5 on my main account, you guys are allowed to pick my next R5. The way you enter that challenge, if you want your champion to be picked, you go down in the comments, you drop what champion you want to be picked, or you like a comment. The comment with the most likes is what I will be choosing from. So yeah, I just wanted to get that disclaimer out there. But here we go. We're going to go into our top 5, or my top 5 worst skill attackers. Another thing I want to go over, I guess not attackers, champions. Another thing I want to go over is some may not think this is the absolute worst 5 in the class, and that might be true, but these are champions that I really wanted to go over their kits or talk about because there are very big flaws in their kits. Also, if you are a brand new player watching this video and you have not pulled a 7-star yet, any of these 7-stars are going to help you in some way, shape, or form just because they are a stronger power level than what you're used to with a 6 and 5-star. So, that being said, if you pull any of these champions that I mentioned, they're not terrible at the beginning, but you want to have a better champion by your second or third pull because content gets harder and these champions don't really scale with that content. That being said, let's go ahead and get into it. So, like I said in the last video, I'm not going to do honorable mentions because I don't think the top 5 worst needs honorable mentions. They are just bad for a reason. I don't need to talk about worst champions. But that being said, my number 5 spot on the list, sorry Cat Murdoch, I know you make videos on this champ, but it's actually Ronin. So, I always forget to change the audio, you know, staple of my channel by now, but the thing with Ronin is he is an exclusive champion, kind of. He can only get acquired in the Incursions Crystal, which are only harder to obtain nowadays because Incursions aren't every month thing, or they are an every month thing, but you can't do them whenever you want. They only come in once a month now. But back in the day, it was still hard to obtain Incursions Crystals. I think I've only got 4 or 5 in the history of my account, maybe a little bit more, but I don't know. I've barely got any Incursions Crystals because there's also other Incursion stuff I spend my artifacts on to get more ISO and whatnot. But that being said, he is an exclusive champ in the Incursions base pool, and I believe he is the worst champ in that pool by a long shot. His kit is very, very weird to play. I don't know how to explain it to you like effectively. He has so much in his kit, I just feel like it does not work. And his kit on paper does not sound bad, right? He's kind of like, I wouldn't say a ramp up champion, but he has certain parts in his kit that you want to maximize to do more damage. It's very clunky to play against. That being said, he also has no prowess on defense. Anytime I've ever fought Ronin on defense, the SP1 is a little weird to evade, and even at that, you get it down after an SP1 or 2. So he has no prowess on defense. He does his synergies. I don't really know much about his synergies. So obviously he's not that crazy. In his kit, he doesn't really have any immunities or anything like that. He's just kind of a weird, clunky champion to play. I have seen, like I said, Cat Murdoch at the beginning. I have seen Cat Murdoch do good things with Ronin, but that is a very, very exclusive case where you can do good things with Ronin. Anything Ronin can do, which is like a lot of other champions on these lists, another champion can do way better and way more effectively. You are never picking Ronin over any other most skill class attackers in the game. So that being said, I believe he is the 5th worst because he is very, very exclusive. He's hard to obtain those crystals, and when you pull Ronin, it feels terrible. And his kit is just very, very weird, and it sucks because he does look very cool. Now, for the 4th spot, it pains me to put this champion here because this champion is like my favorite character in Marvel by far, and I would love to have them up at the highest level just because, but it's just so hard to rank them up when they're this bad, and that is Daredevil. So, Daredevil, although he looks just like the Netflix show, his kit is not that great. He does not have a lot of bang for his buck. And the issue with Daredevil is when he first launched, he was only a paid champion. You could only pay money to obtain this guy. I don't know how much it was, but I believe it was in between $50 to $100 that you had to pay for this character. It was basically like a trophy champion because you are never going to use Daredevil in anything. Any form of content that you use Daredevil in, other champions would do just way, way better. Also, on defense, he has a little tiny bit of prowess with the fact that he can shrug off stun debuffs. But that being said, his specials are really, really easy to evade. His special one is really long, so it might be a stall defender, or he could be a stall defender. But any mutant class top tier attacker is ripping through Daredevil no problem. They actually like fighting Daredevil. But yeah. That being said, I wish he was better. I wish he was better. You have to launch that SP3, which nowadays isn't that bad because there's a special 3 button. But besides, he also can bypass miss. But besides that, and the fact that he can shrug off stuns, he doesn't really have much utility. He's just a very, very champion. He is in the base pool now, so you can pull him. And if you do pull him, he is sick. But I just don't believe he is that good compared to other skill class champions. Also, mowing in the background, sorry, you might hear it. Number 3 on the list is actually one of the newer skill class champion additions. Yeah, that is Night Thrasher. So, the thing about Night Thrasher is he got like a little bit of a buff, and even watching his buff gameplay, I'm sorry, BeamNG, he's not very good. He is very clunky to play. He has weird utility in his kit with the fact that he has like immunity to incinerate effects, and his dodges grant him power while he's under a bar of power. But when you go above a bar of power, there's like no point in that. There is one good thing. His skateboard attacks grant him true accuracy, which basically means they can't be auto-blocked or evaded, which is really, really nice utility. But his damage is just very, very weird. You have to do certain things in a matchup. You have to throw certain SB1s, certain SB2s. It's just weird. And he's just kind of a boring character. On defense, he adds nothing. He is a simple defender to fight. And you'll find that with a lot of these champions. They're not good defenders. They're obviously not that great on attack. He's just a very weird champion. And to be in a pool with Cole Obsidian, he was in the same pool with Cole Obsidian, guys. So you are either pulling one of the best champions in the game or one of the arguably worst champions in the game. That feels bad to me that you could pull Cole Obsidian or you could pull Night Thrasher right before you pull Cole Obsidian or right after. And those crystals were kind of exclusive because you had to do the Rebirth event. So yeah, I don't believe he is that good. He's been buffed multiple times, and they just can't seem to land his kit. I think he will never get buffed again just because he's already been buffed multiple times, and nobody plays him besides BeamNG. But yeah, I believe he is the third worst skill champion in the game. Now, one of the newest, I said he was pretty new. This character is super new to the skill class, and that is actually Dr. Bong. I'm just joking. That is Karnak. So I don't even have a Karnak as a 7-star, and I'm glad. Karnak is a very, very weird champion. He has True Strike, which is pretty cool, but like, he is such a like 2014 champion. Besides the True Strike, you just hit the opponent and throw specials, which can be good, and he can have decent damage, but that's all it is. On defense, like I've said with many other champions, he is not good on defense. He's not that good on defense at all. He has some crazy decent things he can do with blocking or attacking into block. But of course, there's Valkyrie, there's Baron Zemo. There's a bunch of block champions in the game that are just way better than him. And the fact that he was released in an exclusive event where I don't even have him. He was that exclusive. Which that event wasn't that crazy. There wasn't insane champions. There was Clairvoyant, which was pretty nice. But besides that, the event wasn't meant to have meta tier characters. Also, back in the day, which is kind of weird, he also has some decent utility. Not that great, though. Back in the day, you had to use 2 different types of catalysts. I don't know if that's still how it is today. I have not seen anybody rank them up. But you had to use skill and cosmic to rank them up. So you had to use double your catalyst. I don't know if that's still the case. And if that is, that makes them even worse. Because you have to waste 2 different types of catalysts to rank up a mid-tier champion at best. Probably bottom tier. But yeah. Not very good. Exclusive, kind of like Night Thrasher. So, the thing with all these champions are, they are all exclusive on this list. They all had a point in time when they're all exclusive. And they're just not worth that exclusivity. But yeah, that is Karnak, number 2 spot. We get into our final spot, our number 1, the worst skill champion in the game, in my opinion. Some people might think this is a little crazy, but it is Kraven. So, this is a champion that most of you probably don't even know is a 7-star. Most of you probably don't even have, because he is kind of like Deadpool in a way. The only way you get Kraven is by spending money. You have to spend money on certain events to get him. That's the only time he's ever been added. And he is just not good. For the amount of money you would have to spend to get Kraven, it is not worth it at all. I would pick any other 4 champion on this, or any of the other 4 champion on this list for that amount of money. That's what really tanks him all the way down to number 1, is just the fact that you have to spend so much money to get this mid-tier champion that you're never going to use. If he was just in the base pool, he probably would be a little bit higher on the list. He probably wouldn't be number 1. But the fact that you have to spend all this money for a mid-tier champion, he does stuff. He does stuff, but I'm not gonna lie. Anything he does, Baron Zemo does way better. And Baron Zemo's in the base pool. He's also in the ascended pool. So you have two times chances to get Baron Zemo. Baron Zemo just does what he does way better. The only thing he has, to my mind, that I can think of, his kit, he has a built-in limber. So when you try to stun him, he will eventually basically go stun immune. But besides that, he has a trap that he places on SP1, but any mutant attacker nukes down Kraven, no problem. This might be a hot take putting him at 1, but I can't fathom the fact that he costs that much money, or even the free-to-play Poolies event. He was on the same level as Human Torch, guys. Human Torch, Red Guardian. He was on the same level as those two. He does not belong up there. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. The skill class is very weird because there is a lot of other champions in the skill class that I believe belong down there in the bottom 5. But these are the bottom 5 that stood out to me. For example, like I could put Gwenpool down there. She used to be amazing. I could put Hawkeye down there. He's kind of mid. Misty Knight. There's a lot of bad skill class champions. So take that with a grain of salt. If you think a champion should be on here, please comment down in the comment section. I probably totally agree with you. These are just the top 5 that I could think of. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I don't know what class it'll be, but it'll be one of the other 4. Make sure you go to my newest R5 video, and please comment the champ you want or vote for the champ you want, and please subscribe so we can hit that goal, because I really I want to complete that challenge. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.